Hold on.
Showtime.
For the big screen mainstream actors today.
Well, so Doug, here's a question. How can you tell the difference between a real NFT and fake?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tech School Podcast, powered by DSDT. I'm Josh.
I'm Carlos this week. I am not Crypto Los, not having it.
And that was just me bumping the other microphone for our guest, who you're going to see very shortly. Just got a little excited to get this show going.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Carlos?
It's been a long afternoon.
Technical
Difficulties. I really am in need of a CompTIA A+ certification.
Say that again.
CompTIA A+ certification.
And explain what that is in more detail.
So the CompTIA certification would help me with a lot of the technicalities that go on around these boards nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're not really abreast of the fundamentals of IT, that's what A+ is for. It helps you to understand what your process is for and why your CPU is overloaded, or why am I having such an issue with my processors when I'm trying to run programs that may require 64 gigabytes and I only have 16 gigabytes of RAM. I'm just saying, somebody needs to help me out.
Anyone who has these qualifications, how should they get in contact with you?
Well, of course, you can start out by going to DSDT's website. That's D as in David, S as in Sammy, D as in David, T as in Thomas.edu. The edu stands for education. So that's dsdt.edu. Go there, submit a contact form, or you can always reach out to us. The number is 313-263-4200. And I feel like I'm doing the Jerry Lewis telethon or something.
No, you're not. You got to get it out there. You're looking for someone who can help with these sort of responsibilities. So get the word out. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Now,
absolutely.
are you open for people coming to the location itself?
Yeah, well, so I want to say it like this, and I'm going to say it like this.
Go ahead.
Listen, people, the pandemic is over. If nobody tell you, the pandemic is over. So Uncle Sam is saying, especially military veterans, Uncle Sam is saying that as of June 1st, you guys got to go back in person to your education. So that means that if over the last 2+ years, you've been taking those classes distant ed online, you now are expected to return back to in person in order to continue to receive that monthly housing allowance that you've been receiving. And you know what it is, right? So some of you guys get upwards of, let's just say, $2,300 a month to attend these classes. So we definitely want to make sure that you are aware that as of June 1st, Uncle Sam, Uncle Carlos, Uncle Josh are expecting you to be back in person, all right?
And just in case people forgot where DSDT is located, because it has been 2 years.
Yeah.
Where are we located?
We're located in the heart of Southwest Detroit City. That's in the state of Michigan. Detroit. Address is 1759 West 21st Street. 21st Street is after 20th, somewhere between 20th and 22nd. I'm just saying. We're close to the Ambassador Bridge over here in Southwest Detroit. So again, for those that are our local students, you have to return back to in-person training.
And when you come off I-75, don't go to the bridge to
No,
Canada.
you want you
Go to Burner
you
Highway.
you definitely don't want to do
When you
that.
take
So,
75 south.
and that's true because a
There's a cut.
number of visitors have often come to the school and veered to the right and ended
bridge
up in
to
Canada.
and you're stuck
Right?
there for
So
several
that goes
hours.
into that's how close we are. We
Burner
literally,
Highway.
we
Go
literally
left.
we're at the same, adjunctive post of where you can come downtown Detroit,
Mhm.
or you're gonna disappear and you're gonna be over there in Canada somewhere.
Yeah.
So just make sure you make the right turn, okay?
Absolutely. So how is the week going here, Carlos, at DSDT?
I don't know. The week is going long, Josh. I don't know about your week, but the week is going long for me. And what day is this? Tuesday?
It's Tuesday,
I
brother.
promise you, I feel like it's already Thursday.
Why do you say that?
I'm just ready. I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the holiday.
Memorial Day.
Is it Memorial Day?
Yeah, Memorial Day.
I thought it was Juneteenth.
That's coming up.
I did.
That is legitimate.
I heard some things on the radio this morning. They were talking about Juneteenth, and all of a sudden, my mind went totally there.
Mhm.
So, okay, let's not
getting
go
there.
there. All right, it's Memorial Day weekend.
Mhm.
Definitely want to set aside some time and just get some R&R. I
Yeah.
missed it, So, yeah.
Get a little sun, jump in the pool,
Hold on
some
now.
barbecue.
Hold on. You done went too much far. You done went too far.
How was barbecue, sun, and
no.
pool too?
I'm not getting no more sun. What'd you say? You want some of that sun?
Oh my goodness! I can't.
I got enough sun.
can't.
I'm good. I don't need no more sun.
Okay, so maybe you sit in the shade, but little barbecue.
Why does everything you say have to do with sun, barbecue? Are you trying to tell me something, Josh?
I'm telling you, it's the summertime, dude. What the hell are
Okay,
you
all right,
on?
all right. Because I'm sensitive.
Yes, you are. What do you do in the summer? What do you do?
I'm
Barbecue.
just saying.
You
I'm
jump in the
just saying.
pool. You get some sun. You get some
Okay.
vitamin D.
All right. Well,
What the hell?
I don't have a problem with vitamin D. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just want you. Yeah. Listen, we got a guest coming on here.
I can't with this man today. It's been a long day for Carlos. I understand. We understand.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
here for you.
Absolutely.
All
Something about vitamin D, sun, and man, what is going on? I just want to get to the weekend. That's all.
Summertime in the D, baby.
I just want to get to the weekend.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Guest.
Yes.
So today's guest that
Mhm.
we're going to be bringing on is one of DSDT's finest.
Okay.
Right? A woman who needs no introduction, right? She's had, I believe, and I'm gonna let her tell the truth about this, right? Because I think it's about 30 years in the industry or
Ooh.
more
In technology.
in technology.
Okay.
And I actually was sitting and really listening close to what she was saying earlier about how she got her start
Mhm.
of even wanting to be in technology. So I definitely want to pick her brain about some of the things that are going on in the industry right now and her thoughts about where it all is heading. All right. So, and you guys know who she is. She's been here before. She's always a joy to have these conversations with. And you definitely know she knows what she's talking about. So without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and bring on Miss Aubrie Glennon.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Aubrie, so as Carlos alluded to a moment ago, you have more than 30 years of experience in the tech industry. That's a plethora of knowledge and wealth in this industry in technology. So just break it down. Where did it start for you?
Sure. Well, we were talking a little bit earlier. It really started with me doing a manual labor job that I really did not like, that really convinced me that manual labor was not what I wanted to do. And I went out and I found a career tech school where I started learning and being exposed to design.
Mhm.
And that's really where I got my feet wet in the industry. From there, I went into to working for a print shop, running an actual printing press, and still a little manual labor there. And I really wanted to be in the office and do a little bit more of the management side of things. So I started teaching myself design. And once I learned design, I went back to college actually to get my design degree because I wanted to go into education. So that's where I really jumped into career tech education as an instructor. And I worked for Wayne Wesleyan Schools teaching their high school students as well as adult education in printing and design.
Wow. So you began really teaching.
In a way, I've worked corporate marketing and design as well. So I have a really good mix. And that's what I love about being in the classroom is I can bring my experience as a marketer, as a designer into the classroom and bring that real world experience to my students.
And tell me, when you teach students and you give that real world experience, how is it received in the classrooms?
They are able to not only understand what they're doing, but they're able to really do what they need to do. And I think that when they start seeing the progress they're making and when things are clicking, it really gives them a leg up in the industry when they go out to get that job. And it helps them develop that confidence and to be able to take something from a real world experience and apply that.
And I'm noticing just across the board, more institutions are incorporating a blend of teachers who study to be instructors and then also people who have experience in the field. It's becoming more of a blend.
Yes. In education, traditionally you would have instructors that only went to school or to college to teach.
Right.
And they could teach art, but they were never a practitioner. So bringing that real world experience into the classroom was not possible for them because they didn't have that. They only learned within the classroom. So now that critical thinking, that creative thinking is coming more into the educational world, which is what we all operate on. Yeah, practitioners and instructors is just that perfect marriage between student learning and outcomes and, getting them where they need to go.
On one end, the textbook. On the other end, you learn by doing.
Exactly. And our assignments aren't necessarily things from a workbook. They are assignments that we've had as beginners in the industry, and we bring those into the classroom. It just makes for a lot more well-rounded education for our students.
Absolutely. Now, talk about the connection. How did you arrive here at DSDT?
Well, I have, in the past, I ran another college that was very similar to DSDT in the local area in multimedia design. And I have a background from my professional standpoint in film production, audio production, and graphic design. So it was just a perfect fit. I was looking to get back into education. I came from corporate marketing where I was leading a team of designers advertising for McDonald's and, all that stuff that you think you need that you don't. I was convincing you that you did. And my team was doing a really good job at it. But I really wanted to take that skill and knowledge that I have and really help move people into the industry, take my knowledge and really inspire them to enter into the industry. I'm a local Detroiter. I literally live down the street from school. And I really, I wanted to start educating again and educate my community. So where a better place to go than DSDT, who's in my backyard.
Beautiful.
Program here at DSDT. I personally teach the graphic design 1 and 2 classes as well as the marketing 1 and 2 classes.
And break down those courses for me.
Sure. Graphic design, the students are learning about how to visually communicate through creating imagery and videos through the Adobe Creative Suite. And then in marketing, we're learning about what really is intriguing consumers. What is that consumer behavior? What are we doing as marketers? What are we bringing into our artwork that's really grabbing that consumer and convincing them that they need to do what we need them to do for our product or service.
And I'm glad you touched on that because, Carlos, I believe that's part of the conversation today. We have some articles that we want to touch on, and one of them includes marketing and getting consumers to click. Bring that up. Let's dive into that if we can.
So,
you're on the internet, you're on your phone, and then just like, oh, we're gonna go here first. There was something else about like what makes people click.
Oh, you're talking about, I believe it's the psychology.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's touch on. There we go.
Psychology.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, what influences our decisions.
So most people, they think that they make very informed decisions when it comes to purchasing, but really as marketers, we are utilizing the psychology behind human behavior to intrigue you and convince you that that's what you need to do.
Oh, break that down. Break it down.
So as marketers, in the marketing psychology, we really attempt to understand the way consumers think and how they feel and how they reason things. But the biggest thing through a lot of different studies is it comes down to emotion. So as marketers, we try to draw upon your emotion as a human, and it is a science. So there's certain things that we can do to strike that chord in you to get you to do what we need you to do, like click that button, like that page, send out this tweet. And, these days it's funny because we used to, as marketers, we used to have to put content out. Now our consumers are giving us that content. We don't have to go and create it. They're creating it for us.
How are we giving you the content?
You take a picture with your Burger King next to you because Burger King says, take a picture of you with eating our Whopper and put hashtag Whopper on there. They're populating all of those. They're using those for their web images. They're using those for their social media. And when we look at human behavior, we want to be like our neighbors. We want what our friends have. So the minute that I share my Whopper, Josh, you're going to see that on my Facebook page and you're going to say, hey, Aubrie, I want to have a Whopper with you. So now I've just advertised for free for the company.
And here's a question I've always had, or I've had for the last year or so. The algorithm, if you will, like, okay, you buy a pair of shoes or whatever the case may be on your Nordstrom app or whatever, wherever you shop, and then you're on Google, and then similar things pop up in your search. It's like, are you reading my mind? Are you following my search engine?
Well, here's the thing, Josh. You're actually giving them all that information.
Oh, I'm giving them the information.
You are handing that over.
I believe that too. I will believe he's giving it to
him. When you search something in Google,
yes,
there are things that are tracking what you search. So then when you do go to Facebook, those start showing up in your search feed. And there's a reason from a marketing standpoint. It's amazing. From a Big Brother standpoint, it's kind of scary how much they have.
It's almost like they're reading your mind.
You would think, but you're really you don't even realize it, but you're handing over all of that information.
There have been times where I'm typing in something to search, and it already has it filled out before I even finish typing.
Josh, it's called a smartphone. Oh yeah.
It's smart.
I'm just saying, it's a smartphone. It's smart. Sometimes it's smarter than I. just want you to know that.
Than the user.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Okay.
Hey, but that goes right in hand with the other topic that Aubrie was discussing.
Yes.
Here we go. About this Facebook new profile pic app.
Yeah, bring me up to speed on this. I'm not quite familiar.
So I know a little bit about it. I had actually used this as a case study with my marketing students because I really found it was really interesting how humans, we just jumped on it really quick. A company pushed out an app on Facebook for Facebook a few weeks ago. And all you had to do is you had to log in, and to log in, you would provide them with your Facebook account, that real easy sign on that they give you.
Okay.
Well, as a consumer, if I hit that sign up, I've just given them access to all of my not all of it, but a lot of my personal information, including photos, what I've liked, what events I'm going to, things like that. So with this app, you connect your Facebook, so they have that information. Then they ask you to take photos of yourself. And what it does is it wants a high-res photo of you to turn into an illustration. They're amazing illustrations. It's computer generated.
Okay.
So as an artist, I'm flipping through my Facebook feed and I see all these people with these illustrations.
Illustrations.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool as a designer.
Yeah.
No, don't fall for it. And I kept seeing people posting. It went viral. There's over 1 million people that have this photo. Well, someone did some investigation digging into this app and really what was driving it. What is the purpose? And at the end of the day, it was found to have come from a company in Russia. I did not sign up for it because I'm a smart consumer and I research. I don't just act upon things. But it is tracking all of your private information that you have provided it through that sign on through Facebook. It also, because it's turning your photo into another photo, it also now has your photo, a high-res version of your photo.
And that can always lead to identity theft, to say the least.
Exactly.
Real identity theft.
Yeah. Well, and think about how many times people take selfies.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. To get one good selfie, you're taking 5.
Absolutely.
So now they have different angles, something they really could, and I'm not saying it is, but they could use that image and put together some type of 3D animated image or person that looks like you enough to be able to log into things and use facial recognition.
Aubrie, you also touched on personal information that's being given out too when people are using this app and taking pictures, etc. What kind of personal information are we seeing?
So first of all, your Facebook account is tied to it. So it has access to your friends list. It will
DOB.
Yeah,
date of birth,
all of your location. If you have work history, some of that information that you put in there. Now it probably wouldn't have access to Facebook Pay, or things like that. But who's to say that information you gave them isn't enough to get in there somehow?
They'll have a starting point.
Yeah, if Facebook says I need you to prove your identity before I open up your account,
then you're going
through pictures of you.
You're putting in your cell phone number,
right?
Email address.
Yep. And as consumers, we saw our friends have these photos. We wanted what our friends have. So this company out in Moscow really did play into that consumer behavior. They knew how we would react. They knew that 75% of the time we don't research when we make a purchase, when we take an action on something. And at the end of the day, they had a call to action. Their call to action was give us your information and we will reciprocate by giving you this illustration, which goes right into marketing. The theory of reciprocity. You give us something, we'll give you something back. And man, my feed is full of people that fell for that.
And there's also a recipe of today's world. People have to be seen. People feel they have to be seen frequently. Yes.
And they want to have the coolest thing. So if their friends, if they saw it on, maybe a stranger's page and none of their friends had it, they wanted to be the first one to have that cool new profile pic. And here they are sitting with their dad over in Moscow. Something's going on with that. I mean, I can't imagine a marketer just developing the app with a dead end.
Yeah, you mentioned a moment ago as well, there doesn't appear to be an end game.
No.
Where is this headed? What is the point?
Right. Yeah, and because there is no point, suspicion is that the app was really just mining for your data.
And granted, everything that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, with that being the main case, as an aside, has this company said anything as to why they did it, what they're doing, how they created it? What's the name of the company, by the way?
You know, I don't remember the name of it, and it's kind of convoluted when someone from the U.S. had contacted them. You know, there was kind of a little dance they were doing. Well, it's not really owned by this.
And clearly, at this point, they haven't said anything. But I was just curious, like, what did they say? If they said anything, probably was an empty statement. But would be curious to see what that empty statement is.
Yeah, what their purpose was.
Yeah,
you know, I could see if it was an artist that's trying to get their name out there. But at the same time, they probably would not be asking such intrusive questions to be able to get you to use their app.
Yeah, what elementary school did you go to? What was your first job?
Yeah,
where did your mother?
Name?
Yeah, what's your dog's name? Where was your mother born and raised?
Yeah. So you know,
what's your
it's just really important before you click that like to understand really what you're doing and how you're playing into some of this stuff. Marketers tend to use it on the good side, but you also have something like this Facebook app that played right into human behavior, and we fell for it. And people are handing it over.
So me, because I really, really, truly want to be the cool kid. I mean, right now, this is like my dream thing. Right. I really think if I had one of these, I would be the cool kid. I mean, because I'm in search of being the cool one.
That is kind of cool.
Right. Do I like automatically take my cool factor like beyond the stars?
You definitely amplify your coolness.
Right. And can't you see me posting all of this on my Facebook feed? Because I don't have TikTok. Right. I don't have TikTok. Why don't I have TikTok? Well, I don't have TikTok because President Trump said that the Chinese created it and that they were going to take all of my information and use it against me. So I don't have the TikTok. I'm just saying.
That is cool, though. I'm sorry. Okay. So, if Carlos were to somehow have this device, what is it exactly, Carlos?
It's a drone. It is a drone. It runs $90,000. It is back ordered until the year 2025.
Wow. Okay.
It's called the Jetson.
The Jetson.
This, as of right now,
I need to have that just because the name.
This is my dream vehicle.
That is very fitting when you say the Jetson based on the cartoon. Okay,
Absolutely.
All right. I see where we're headed here.
Absolutely.
Okay, Aubrie, the point I'm trying to get at, let's say that Carlos gets the Jetson in the year 2025. He posts it on Facebook, Instagram, maybe TikTok if he starts up a TikTok account one day. What kind of personal information is he putting out there?
With just posting that car?
Just by posting the Jetson. And him cruising in the Jetson.
So first of all, I now know what car he drives.
Okay.
You know, if I'm looking to hit Carlos's house up when he's not at home, I know what cars should not be in the driveway.
It flies. It won't be in the driveway.
And that's just on the visual end. It also shows your income level, most likely.
The fact that he would have $19,000 to purchase.
No, I didn't say 19. Now hold on, back up. 90.
Oh, it goes 19 miles an hour.
No, it's $90,000.
Oh,
so 90,000.
$90,000. Okay.
And it comes 50% put together. The other 50%, whether or not you have any type of aviator's mechanics degree, the other 50% you have to put together.
That sounds like some expensive IKEA shenanigans.
I'm just saying. And then thanks to my wife, I have a lot of IKEA skills. I'm just saying.
An IKEA egg chair.
I mean, you're
Yes.
spending
You
90,000.
do.
I do.
All right. So there's another marketing thing that IKEA has done so well. They have the wicker egg chairs. They put them out only a couple of times a year,
Mhm.
and they limit the stock.
Okay.
So they limit the stock. During the year, they have about 40,000 people that search at IKEA egg chair every year.
Mhm.
And then when they do publish it, saying we have some available, that jumps up like triples the amount of searches.
Mhm.
And they could stock them. They have the stock, but they choose to keep it limited because they are playing off of that fear of missing out.
Mm.
So that as consumers, that makes us hungry to have it. We want it because it's hard to get, but that's really a facade. It's not that hard to get. IKEA just doesn't want you to have it because they're using it as a marketing ploy, and they get news stories twice a year from that. They are on the TV. They're on the internet. People talking about, I want this chair. I want this chair. I want this chair. It's brilliant.
So if I wanted to be a marketer, digital, traditional, whatever, right? What form of education would I be looking at getting in the long term?
Well, marketing is interesting because there are specific roles within marketing. Your marketing manager, your social media marketer. But then there's also people like myself who are creative marketers. So I don't necessarily come up with the analytics, and I'm not processing a lot of that data. But I'm still part of that marketing team and that marketing department. So if you're looking more to get into the creative realm, DSTT is a really great place to start and get your feet wet and get that foundation. Through our entire program, because we are a visually creative program, we are using marketing to really define and put together our the creatives that the students put together. They use marketing theory really to drive that.
Yeah.
So DSTT from the creative standpoint is a great place. And we do have a class that's more based or primarily based on the theory of marketing, where you're learning the psychology. So when you do get to the design classes, you have some of that under your belt. One thing students always say first day of my graphic design classes, my favorite color is green. And I ask them why. And it's my favorite color. I said, well, you're going to learn about why that's your favorite color, because there is so much psychology that goes behind just even colors.
Yeah.
There's a reason McDonald's and all your fast food have red as their main color. It's not because it's pretty.
Right. I agree. So one of the things that has been kicked around the halls of the SBT is the fact that the name of the program for film production will be changed here soon. Soon.
Do we know what is being changed to?
Do we know what it's being changed to? Well, of course we know.
I think we are going to wait for
a big announcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not gonna be a real big announcement. But after having conversations with the team, I settled on digital marketing professional. Digital marketing professional. It encompasses everything that the school already does, and even more so from the creative perspective. I think that one of the biggest things that I learned early on, and I use this, but I don't necessarily want to pigeonhole the city itself, but Detroit. Detroit has so many creatives that aren't a part of these conversations. When we go to talking about having a school of IT professionals and the opportunities that are made available to them, I can remember when the VA didn't even want to approve our film production program because they said that there wasn't any further opportunities in film production. And so now we have just a plethora of employers that are looking for those who have those digital marketing skill sets. And it's not necessarily just about a Facebook and you know how to post, but it's everything akin to what Aubrie is already saying. There's skill sets that have to go with these, as well as there's psychology behind it. just so many things that have to be a part of your tool chest in order for you to be successful in it. And I'll tell you, as one of the heads here at DSDT, one of the biggest things that I've come to learn that our students need when it comes to whether it be the IT classes, but specifically when we're talking about digital marketing, we will have, and I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it, we will have a creative writing class a part of that curriculum.
All right.
We have to.
Yeah.
If you're talking that or saying that you want to be a digital marketer, I'm sorry, you got to know where to put a period. Hello.
Well, and there's a lot of times
There's
where
something called grammar.
You have to have it. And unfortunately, here I am now. I get resumes where I am appalled at individuals. And I'm going to say it, Josh. I'm going to say it. I'm appalled. I see people with master's degrees who can't write, who cannot write. And so if we're going to be turning out the best of the best from our programs, you have to be able to use the proper grammar. I am sorry. So we will have a creative writing class as a part of that curriculum.
Which I think
Fundamentals.
production, graphic design. Our clients ask us to write a headline here or there. A lot of times companies can't afford that copywriter, so they do rely on us. And I talk to the students about that. Those types of skills are going to be what sets you apart from the regular, industry standard graphic designer or film production artist. Those are the things I want my students to grab onto and run to the industry, because I know that they're going to shine a lot brighter than those that learned at the university.
And that's so true. So I've had individuals who come in for interviews, and I'll ask you, let me see your Instagram account. Now, you didn't know when you came in that I was going to ask you that. You were going to show me this resume that maybe your brother, sister's cousin polished up for you because they're an English teacher. So when I look at your Instagram account, it has to be a representation of what you're showing me in the resume.
Yeah.
It just has to be. I need that consistency, and I think that employers, just like those that are showing up with the resumes, employers are getting just as savvy. We want to make sure that the money we're investing in this individual is actually going for the right cause. I don't want to be hiring the bottom of the barrel only to find out after I've paid 2 months of salary that this wasn't the individual that was right for the opportunity. Right. So how do we align our students to be in better shape than some of the ones who have been doing it for a while? Digital marketing is not a new field. I'm here to tell you, in case you didn't know, it's not a new field. You should have showed up back in 2008 before Facebook really got to going, before there really was these advertising metrics. Then maybe you would have been one of the pioneers. But as it stands, there's so many institutions that already are teaching it. But we want to make sure that the ones that we are training are the cream of the crop. And when they show up, they show out, and they're better than the ones that are there.
Which is what's so beautiful about having practitioners as your instructors, because our students are getting so much more than just how to function in the design software. They can apply those theories, talk the talk, walk the walk, and they know what to expect on day one when they walk into their first job.
Learn by doing.
But I'll be remiss if I did say this. So there's this lady, her name is Jamie Harris. And if you guys don't know her, she's the CEO of the SDT. If not for her, my grandma would be horrible. I'm just saying. It would be horrible. So if I have to be a better representation of the institution, then that means that everybody that comes after me equally have to be. So we all have a part to play. We have to make sure that the students are getting exactly what they sign up for. And a part of that is a lot of times, you have individuals that come in and they say, well, I just want to learn this. I just want to do 3D printing. I just want to do drone technology. Then I understand now why larger institutions, they use prerequisites. They use electives. I know now, right? I don't necessarily want to make sure that you know how to type, even though you should know if you want to get into a mobile iOS program. Hint, hint, right? But if you're saying that you really want to follow a career of digital marketing, if you're saying that you really want to be able to have your business flourish, then you might want to take a grammar class along the way in the form of creative writing. I'm just saying.
Let's pay some bills, and when we come back, we have a few questions we're gonna throw out there too from the viewers on this fine day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Josh.
I'm Carlos, better known as Crypto Los.
This is the Tech School Podcast powered by DSDT.
I just made up Crypto Los in case you didn't.
And that's exactly what this is. It's a great season. Season 4, we're back in the building, side by side.
If you haven't checked out the podcast, make sure that you go to it wherever you get your podcast from.
But in the meantime, see ya!
Hello, I'm Jason Stemmer. I served 5 years as a combat engineer in the United States Army. In the summer of 2019, I joined DSDT to learn advancing technologies in computer support, networking, cybersecurity, many valuable tools in digital media. DSDT is partnered with a lot of veteran-friendly employers, and with the help of DSDT's job placement assistance, I was able to quickly begin work in the IT field. I'm very pleased with this direction, as there is unlimited potential in the technology field, with no signs of growth or demand ever slowing. So come in for a visit, take a tour, and schedule a meeting with an advisor. DSDT really changed my life for the better, and it can change yours.
At a Detroit School for Digital Technology, we strive to provide students who are willing to learn new and exciting skill sets with a quality education in cutting-edge film technology to include recording in HD and 4K formats, drone videography, editing, and state-of-the-art color grading. Our instructors are friendly, knowledgeable industry professionals who are willing to teach. For more information, call us at 313-263-4200 or visit us on the web at dsdt.tech.
Try to address it to the best of our ability, Aubrie.
Absolutely.
Bring that up. Okay. What about when you're having a conversation and later what you mention appears on your social media feed?
So I am actually just learning about this. However, your smartphone, your cell phone has an onboard microphone. And when you give apps like Siri or Alexa, specifically those two, but there's a ton more. When you give them permissions, a lot of times you are giving them permission for that onboard microphone to listen to you. Unfortunately, that onboard microphone doesn't pick and choose what conversations it's listening to, so it listens all the time.
Wow.
There are ways, and I'm not real tech savvy as far as the cell phone goes, but from what I understand, there are ways to turn that onboard microphone off for certain applications. So if you do find that a lot of things you're talking about is coming through on your Facebook ads, or if you're on Reddit and an ad pops up about something odd you just talked about, chances are you have an app on your cell phone that is listening to you.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I kind of like that, though. I can't lie.
You like it?
I kind of like it.
Explain, Carlos, why do you kind of like it?
I kind of like it from the standpoint that, in case you guys don't know, Carlos has 5 children. So if my phone is at least listening to me, at least somebody is. I'm just saying. All right.
Because none of them are listening.
None of them listen. I'm just saying.
At least my phone is going to use my knowledge.
So next time you say nobody's listening to you, you can say, that's not true, Carlos.
Yeah, but I think Eric Snowden did tell us that, didn't he? Or Edward Snowden.
Okay.
Edward Snowden told us that many, many, many years ago, which is why he's still in Russia. Yeah, right. Think about that, people.
Ooh, yeah, getting a little deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you know, I have quite a few devices around the house. I probably have, I think I have probably about 10 Alexas in the house.
10.
About 10. About 10. Yeah.
So we have one at every corner.
Almost, right?
I mean, do you have one in the bathroom?
I had one in the bathroom.
Oh, jeez.
I had one in the bathroom. I'm telling the truth. I mean, one
I
day,
asked something, it was no.
one day we can take the camera and we can do a tour of the Carloses. And you can, I told you guys a long time ago, actually, that I had quite a few devices hooked up to the Internet of Things.
Yes,
You
you
know,
mentioned that on
so
several occasions.
Yeah, so when we moved into our new home, just a year and a half ago, one of the things was to hook up as much as possible to the internet.
Okay.
Right? I had to have the most extravagant intranet that I could get for that location because I already knew what I was going to do. I want everything on the internet. And I tell you, man, I got one of those little sockets, the smart sockets, and I was able to turn the light off and I was addicted from it. That's probably why I have so many, right? So I have an Alexa everywhere because I want to one be able to hear music throughout the home, and at the same time I want her to always pick my voice up when I have a command, such as Alexa, turn the swimming pool pump on. There it is. So Alexa listens throughout the house.
And your kids don't.
We're still working on
That's why you get Alexa.
that. we're still working on them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, goodness.
All good, all good. All right, so guys, we're getting more and more into back to reality.
Okay.
How are things adjusting here at DSDT with getting more in person back in the circle of things?
DSDT right now, as I see it, we're back in the year 2017, 18.
Mm-hmm.
From the perspective, it feels as though the world is waking up again, and everyone is trying to figure out the next phase. We have a number of students, especially in the evening. We have evening students, quite a few of them that
What
come
are some of
in.
the evening classes like as far as times?
So the evening classes always run Monday through Thursday from 4:30 to 9:55.
Okay.
Always. And so the individuals who come in the evening, for the most part, they may be first shift workers, because you got to remember a lot of our students, when we say school, people have a tendency to think that it is a high school or an elementary. It's not.
Not
These are
saying that you
adults.
don't, but you have fewer 18, 19-year-olds fresh out of high school. You have full-blown adults.
Right. And that is only now.
Mhm.
We have had a number of young adults fresh out of high school throughout the years, but since the pandemic struck, not as many, and I think that as these weeks are coming and going, that we'll begin to see even more. I'm expecting it to pick up as we go into the fall, because historically, even before the pandemic, schools have a tendency, the admissions drop around the May, June-ish.
Makes sense.
Right. Nobody wants to go to your school in the summertime. I'm just saying.
Sun.
Eating some barbecue.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, hold. No barbecue, no sun. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Carlos, go move to Alaska.
Sunscreen.
Hey. Apparently, you know where my next trip is. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So,
Alexa.
Yeah. You been listening to Alexa?
Huh?
Well, not. Hold on now. Now that you guys really got me out in the weeds. You know that there is a function on your smart device as well as on Alexa in which they record everything you say. And you can actually go into your device and get a printout or read the text of what they've been listening to.
And that's Alexa does that?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely
so, yeah,
does.
I'm not friends with Alexa or Siri.
Oh, you're not?
No,
What do you have, an Obama phone?
I wish.
Flip.
I wish. I do not want to. Yeah, it kind of freaks me out, that whole marketing thing. I know too much.
Mhm.
I know too much. I know what's going on, and I hate when I get caught up in it and they catch me and I
Yeah.
fall for their marketing thing. So yeah, I try not to use those.
And you know, but from that perspective, I understand it. I'm totally right. I truly believe that if it's if
Sorry,
it's
it's close to class time.
if it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true.
Mm.
Right.
And that's always my perspective. And I have fallen myself for some heck of a marketing schemes. LeBron on my Instagram channel, and he wants to give you $5,000. Text money sign now, and we'll call you.
Yeah.
That was the one that got me. I mean, it was LeBron live. I mean, who doesn't want $5,000 from LeBron, and he's live too? How can they be, tricking me? And it was a trick. It was a scam.
Wow.
Or I've had I had a sister. I have four. I had a sister that called me up because somebody wanted to send her $5,000, and in order to send it to her, first she had to put $500 on a debit card to give them the numbers to make sure that the account is set up for them to wire the money to. I mean,
When I worked at the print shop, there a woman had walked in the rain, and I swear she told me 5 miles. She was trying to fax something over to Europe, which we didn't do, and that's what kind of I questioned her. I said, "Well, what are you doing?" "Well, if I send them my bank information, they're going to give me, deposit this money." And this was back in the mid '90s, so it wasn't as rampant it is now. But I'm like, people believe that, first of all, but yeah, I mean, and sometimes they play under desperation.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly what it is, right? Because I mean, they must know that you have that $800 a month, whatever the bill to pay, and you could use a few extra dollars, and you're only going to give up 500 to get 5,000.
That doesn't add up.
No, I can tell you some of their marketing tricks. I mean, certain companies that deal with lower income Americans, they know when you're getting your money from the government, when your retirement, your Social Security is hitting, and they will hit them if they're trying to get you to buy something. They'll hit you that week that they know. And if they're trying to get money from you, like, or trying to give you money like a scam, they can hit you on the in-between weeks when you don't have that paycheck coming in. And they're using that to leverage. And companies do. As much as we like to think they don't have access to our banking, the company I just came from, they print all the checks in the whole United States. They have access, and they get non-identified information, but they know what address gets paid when.
Mm-hmm.
They know essentially how many times you order checks. They know essentially how much you're spending in and out of that bank account without even having a picture of that account. And so from us, we were able to sell that data to our clients, who then could hit their consumers at the appropriate time.
Wow.
So yeah, Alexa and Siri, I'm avoiding them because some of that other stuff as a consumer, you just can't avoid. It's out there. So we have to be really on our guard with what we do put out there. When you order those checks, read that disclaimer, because it's saying they're selling your information. They tell you that.
Even in the tech world, you have to go back to the basic fundamentals.
That's right. That's right. You have to protect. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your information. But I will be honest to a degree. I don't put as much emphasis into the protection of my information because I feel like everybody has it anyways. Yeah. Now I lock up my credit reports. And hacker number 54 said that really doesn't matter.
Doesn't do much. Like you thought you were doing something like, ooh, I have experience.
Well, that's the thing. There's the older generations, they don't like to do banking online because they don't want to put their private information out there, but they forget the bank is housing all your information online,
That's right.
whether you have an online account or not. So it's already there.
Everybody
It's
has
already
it.
there.
I'm on Facebook. Facebook knows everything about me. You know, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. I am everywhere. So at the end of the day, hey, if you got it, you might as well use it.
Yep.
And I just hope you help my credit score go a little bit higher. I'm just saying. I'm trying to get an 830.
830.
Interested in more of these topics, you can of course come to DSDT and take the film production program and get a grasp on some really good marketing. But there's also a documentary that PBS put out. It's called Generation Like, and it talks about, it's focused more on millennials, but it was filmed back in 2016. Today it's more applicable to every person that uses technology, but it talks about how we want to get that notoriety, that public notoriety, and how companies are using that to leverage, and how personal branding is now a personal thing. You know, we see people like Paris Hilton and the Kardashians. They're building their empires not based on the success of their company, but based on their personal brand that they've developed. And it's just really interesting how we play into that so much as humans, just through behavior.
So, Generational Like, for those of you
Like,
that would be interested in tuning into it, PBS special. I myself haven't watched it, but I definitely would like to, because I find the psychology specifically of marketing to be so fascinating. You know, what compels a person to do X, Y, and Z. And the more that I know, the more that I can protect myself and my information assets as a whole.
yeah.
Am I thinking about it right?
Yes, yes. And it
Right.
absolutely gives you a better understanding of how people like Paris Hilton, that you don't think has a lot of value, but how integral she is in that whole marketing, in the marketing world, as far as consumers buying into what she's buying, and how people can find, companies can find out the next trend by just looking at what people are liking and sharing.
Incredible.
It's
Right.
amazing.
Right. Well, Miss Aubrie,
Yeah.
we truly appreciate you and your time today. We really do. As I told you, you're right. If I told you guys early on in the season that we're going to have a number of guest hosts that come on throughout season 4, and Aubrie definitely will make a return. So if there's perhaps a conversation or a conversational piece that you guys would love to hear her come and give you some information about, then why don't you just go ahead and list that in the chat box, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. Put it in the chat box, and I'll make sure that we get it addressed the next time she's here.
Give us a like, share that podcast out there, do what we want you to do, click that button.
Let's bring up Barbara real quick, who made a nice comment earlier today. Wow, I really do learn from your broadcast.
Awesome.
Giving it people, just giving people the knowledge to do what they must.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
the mission. That's the end game.
That's right. Success.
Yes. Success indeed. Well, Aubrie, thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
All right. Well, my man, I know it's been a long day, but see, it all came together.
It did.
It did.
It did.
It always has a way of working itself out.
It does.
Yeah.
But let's get back to this about this barbecue.
Oh my goodness.
and this son.
Oh.
What's going on? Why were you trying to take us down that rabbit hole? I'm just asking questions.
What rabbit hole?
I'm just saying, why were you trying to take us down that hole? Josh, do you know that I'm really sensitive about being out in the sun, in the hot blazing sun, trying to get a suntan? I'm just saying. If somebody keep calling me,
no, that is my signal that class is about.
Somebody keep calling me.
I'm sorry.
We were talking about two different things.
All right, I'm just making sure. Just making sure.
I can't with this guy. I can't. I mean, it's spring, it's summer. It's going to be 85. It's going to be 90 degrees in a few days. What do? You go hang out in the pool. You enjoy some chickens, some burgers, some ribs. Oh! It's going to be out. You enjoy it. You enjoy the sun because you know the snow's going to come back. What are we talking about over here? I don't know. Carlos, he knows, but I don't. Bring Carlos back up. This is a darn good episode, my friend. And there you go.
I'm waiting for you guys. Come on, it's on him.
Oh,
I'm just here.
That's right. You kind of threw me off with the whole.
I'm here.
I don't know. Nevertheless, Carlos, great episode. Aubrie, thank you. You brought a wealth of knowledge. We will see you again for sure. In the meantime, this is the Tech School Podcast powered by DSDT. See ya.